Hello and welcome to episode the 6th of Tamper Tantrum. My name is Colin Harmon. I am...
Be careful.
I always mess this up, but we're going to keep on going. It's the 6th episode of Tamper Tantrum. How it has grown. Very happy to be here. We're here in Stafford again. Who are you?
How am I?
Who are you?
Who am I?
You tell me who you are.
I'm Stephen.
He is Stephen. More so than ever, I think.
Yeah. And I'm Steve Leighton, and I am not a gentle giant, for the record.
Not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere. I even have strangers now asking me how gentle giant is.
You have strangers saying,
yes.
I get the odd stranger saying that as well. We're living that one down in a hurry. So, thank you for joining us again. We're here at the roastery here in Stafford.
Because it's my turn not to travel.
It is his turn not to travel.
And you were here anyway.
Yeah.
And we were running out of time to actually get it done.
Yes.
So it's very late. It's like 8:30 at night.
Yeah, he tricked me. He got me. He said, "Oh, he lured me in with kebabs." Like, look at kebabs. Tamper Tantrum. So here we are. I think this one may be a little bit shorter because
I think it will be because we are busy and as you'll find out in a minute, we've got loads going on.
Yeah.
And we desperately wanted to do this to keep the momentum there, but if we didn't do it,
and it's not because you said you want them shorter. That's not why we made it shorter.
No, in fact, if you say you like them shorter,
we'll
promise to do them lots longer.
Yeah.
So just say, I didn't like the short one and we might do more.
Yeah, we're planning a Christmas special which will be 24 hours long. So you have to spend Christmas with us.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And the Christmas one could be quite cool as well.
Yeah.
Because it might be somewhere new.
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. So...
What's first up?
News happening. Well, I've had a new baby.
He has.
Although my baby's poorly at the moment, but because of my stupidity. But yeah, I've had an Uber. After all of my protestations at Marco, I think Mr. Stack has finally given in.
How many times did you mention the Uber word in the last time, dude?
Too many. That counter thing really got on my nerves.
That's it. We have a photograph as well of the deal being struck in the Uber. That's it.
Yes, yeah, we didn't show last time, but this was my Uber pre-installation at Marco, which was very cool. I am going to be incredibly boring about it. I will be. Anybody who goes on my blog and stuff like that will be sick of the sound of me saying Uber.
So for all four people that don't know what an Uber water is, what do you tell them?
The Uber is a water delivery system.
Ooh, he sounded just like Stack when he said that.
Well, it basically is. I mean, it's a hot water delivery system. For me, I'm amazed at how simple it is. Now I've got it and used it a lot more. It's dead simple. There's not masses to it, but I don't think there needs to be. I don't want to spoil too much about, because I'm going to do a video blog post on my blog about my initial reactions and interactions with it, but it's been cool. I mean, I've really enjoyed it. I've made some of the best Chemexes I've ever made in my life. That isn't because the hot water is any finer from this machine, but it really does make you kind of work on those variables just a little bit more. You're very, very careful about, I've got to the point where 0.1 of a degree isn't good enough.
Yeah.
It's got to be what I want, not the 0.1.
Yeah.
The same with the weigh-in. Everything's got to be bang on. And it just, I want a 4-minute extraction if it's going to kill me.
Because I found the same sort of scenario happened once a coffee engine, once we got an Anthem with a timer on it.
Yeah. It's still just ground coffee.
Yeah, but like it allows you to ask questions of areas where you didn't have the luxury of asking questions before.
Yeah.
Whereas now this is nailing things for you. So you're saying there's something wrong. It's me. It's the grind. It's the coffee. What is it?
Yeah.
So,
and I'm really looking forward to kind of using it in a full cup being able to again just take away any slight variable from it. And I haven't really had much chance to do that. It's been more used for brewing and stuff like that. But dead excited by it. It's a lovely piece of kit. Thank you, Mr. Stack. You know, he very kindly got it delivered 2 days before my birthday and had it installed the day before my birthday. So Saturday, which was my birthday, I spent up at the roastery all day. And I came
and
home.
your family at home. But...
Yeah, I got home and Sarah was like, "You've had too much caffeine again, haven't you?" Yes, I have. But it's been great fun, and I'm most grateful to him, and most grateful to Stephen, James, and Annette for designing it, because I think it was something that was missing.
Yes. No, cool. Good people, Marco.
Yes, and thank you for hosting us last time, because I had great fun. It was good stuff to see the whole factory.
Yeah, it's actually because the last one was filmed at Marco, but I think what's reassuring for me when you're walking around is that you see people building things there.
Yeah.
And
making things, cutting things
and cutting things and bleeding on things. And but it's kind of reassuring that way, you know.
Yeah.
And it's made in Ireland.
It's a proper.
It's important, isn't it?
Not so.
Okay.
So, Mr. Harmon, what have you been doing?
I have been in that wonderful, wonderful country of Italy. I've been in
Didn't
Milan.
they make espresso?
They made espresso.
Do they grow coffee in Italy?
They should do. They drink enough of the stuff anyway. But yeah, so I was very kindly invited to Milan by Nuovo Simonelli and
We love you, Simonelli.
Mr. Stephen of Morrissey to come and make coffee.
Stemo?
Yeah. Colin doesn't think it's funny.
Oh. So we can't call him Stemo?
No, we wouldn't. Why would you call him that?
Shall I bleep it out then on the editing?
Yeah, you better not call him that.
Okay.
So we went to...
we love you, Mr. Morrissey. Really. That's why we poke fun at the Steve. Oh no, can't say it.
He is all that and more. But it was at an exhibition called Host. Now, Host, for those of you that don't know, is an exhibition that happens every 2 years in Milan. In between, they have it in Trieste. I don't know if it's the same exhibition or whatever, but that's one. So it's basically a huge get together, and predominantly espresso machines from what I saw. But they also have ice cream makers and mixers and all that sort of stuff, but like predominantly your espresso machine. And you know Liverpool. It's about the size of Liverpool.
Is that Liverpool who had a beach ball and we don't talk about that, do we? Sorry. Is that another? Yeah.
We're not talking about that one. Sorry, football. But yeah, so Host.
What was the final score of that game?
We're not talking about it.
Oh, sorry, we're talking about. You brought up Liverpool, not me.
Shut up. It's outside of Dublin. So it's huge. Like it's just ginormous.
Dublin's really small.
Oh. It's not a coffee machine show though. It's Dublin. So it's absolutely ginormous.
I thought you went to Milan.
Let me say. Milan is big, okay, and then Host is big, so it's in this. It's just so massive. I couldn't get over how big it was. People kept telling me how big it was, and I was like, yeah. And it's absolutely.
Do you know I could do some really good editing with that? People don't know how. People said how big it was, and they didn't. I could just put that all over the internet. Sorry, I'm going to be serious. This is a serious video cast for serious coffee professionals.
I'm a professional. So it's. I've got to stop doing that as well, haven't I?
Yeah, I'm helping you.
So yeah, it was absolutely huge.
I'm incredibly jealous. We were talking about it on the last one that I was possibly going, but it was Sarah's birthday weekend, and we'd planned to go and see a concert and stop in a really nice hotel.
Spandau Ballet, is that
yeah,
right?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, no, it's cool that you prefer Spandau Ballet to coffee machines, but.
I prefer marriage to actually no, I don't. That's not true. I don't know what happened. I was brainwashed and taken away, but I wasn't able to make it. I was incredibly jealous because it sounded like there was lots of fun. There were lots of tweets coming out of there. There were lots of photos coming out of there. And should we put a link up for your photos?
Yeah.
Have you done a blog post yet?
No, I'm going to do one as soon as
do you?
20 seconds.
Do you still have a?
I did a blog post not so long ago.
I think that was about a month ago.
Coffee machine.
Yeah, that was about a month ago.
It wasn't.
No, it was.
It was like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, that makes it all better then.
Okay,
Silly me.
I promise I'll do it this weekend. Okay?
Yeah. No, I think you should because
Okay.
I've actually got blog posts waiting to be published. That I've actually.
I actually have 4 in my head.
No, I have them actually written down and proofread and spell checked.
Okay.
Yeah, but yes, I'm incredibly jealous, and I would like to know lots more about it. But we will put a link up to the photos and keep an eye out on the RSS for Dublin Barista.
Yeah. So, but we.
Because you have Dublin Barista Dublin.com now, I think, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody sorted that out.
Yeah. Who was that then? But yes, so DublinBarista.com.
Yeah.
I'm not putting a link up for that.
But yeah, so Host is colossal, and basically, I got to see most of it. I think I'm not sure, but it was absolutely massive. But there was lots of really cool people there. We went to see the new Spaziale machines and the new Chimbley machine, which actually cost a big huge fuss. And I discovered that I'm probably the only person who loves looking at Chimbley machines.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like, really? And I was like, I love them.
When we had, because lots of people don't know, but before Has Been the roastery, it was Has Been the espresso bar.
So you were a big barista, were you?
Yeah, I was, yeah.
Did you have like a cap and a beard and wear tight pants?
I had tattoos though.
Did you?
Everywhere.
Nice.
We had a Chimbley, and it was the most horrible machine in the world.
I think they're so beautiful.
It cost me £100. A 3 group cost me £100 off eBay. This tells you how good this machine was.
Nice.
Yeah.
So they're all the same anyway.
But it was great because we had no heating in the shop, but we didn't need it because this big machine kept us warm. But yeah, the Chimbley, I've never got that excited about them.
They look pretty though. They look like big cheap sports cars. I don't know. I don't
know what that says about you, that they think that it's pretty to look at a cheap sports car.
They remind me of.
So you're an MR2 kind of boy.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. They remind me of MR2.
Do you prefer the T-bar?
Can we get a photograph of an MR2?
yeah, we can do that.
That's what I like them.
Yeah, that is Colin, Mr. Chav.
Yeah, it'd be cool. So, but the thing that I came away from Milan thinking was that. Like, okay, Anthem that we were talking about again for some reason, but they had a tiny little stand and they just seem to not know about any sort of fuss that they've caused with these grinders, right? Mm-hmm. And everywhere you look, there's like espresso machine manufacturers everywhere, right? I've never heard of 99% of them, right? And I can't help but thinking to myself, maybe the world's best espresso machine is out there and nobody will ever know.
Yeah.
Because there's just hundreds, thousands of them, like.
I think the thing with Anthem is that, you know, they're just so rubbish at selling things.
They don't want,
it's like the Hario thing that we've talked about before, that, you know, these guys just don't want to sell grinder. The UK importer is a really nice guy, and we have bought some from him in the past, but I found up and he hasn't got any.
Yeah.
You know, and he's just like, well, you're the importer. I'm meant to not have any. You're meant to have them. Yeah. And I don't know. I think they need somebody to grab them by their bootstraps.
Yeah, it's an odd way to do things, but
yeah,
I don't understand.
I mean, one thing that struck me about the group that seemed to be at Milan they were lots of cool people.
And me.
And you, yeah, which is nice of them to let you go along.
It was.
But there didn't seem any of the old school there. So, like, you go to an SCAE show or an SCAA
George
show.
Howell. Oh no, George Howell wasn't there. He was in Milan, but he was out of the box, the Lamorozoko thing.
Right. But I mean, I think George Howell is still in that kind of. I think George Howell's really cool. Mm-hmm. I like talking to him. I think he thinks about coffee on a very modern level.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking more about the old school roasters. You know, the kind of bigger roasters, the white label roasters. You know, the kind of those kind of guys. But also kind of like. Obviously the syrup guys aren't there because it's a machine show, but that's really cool.
No, there was syrup guys.
Yeah. Are they? Okay. I'll stand corrected.
Moaning were right beside us.
Who was moaning right beside you? Moaning about what?
Moaning about syrups.
But I kind of got that part wrong, but it just seemed that what everybody came back and told me about, it was like lots of the cool kids were there, but not so many of the old wave were there. Yeah. And I don't like that third wave thing that kind of got made popular, but that kind of group of people that think about coffee on a different level.
Yeah, well, we had.
They seemed to be there, but the others didn't. So.
The stand that I was working on was Nuovo Simonelli with Stephen Morrissey.
How many times? Should we have a little ping for how many times you mentioned Nuovo Simonelli?
Nuovo Simonelli. And and
Massimo.
Behind us was Marco, and James Hoffman was there, and Søren Stiller as well. He was possibly the coolest guy in coffee. Hello, Søren. And they.
You say everybody's the coolest guy in coffee.
I'm anyone's really.
You are a bit of a hoe.
So, but we had.
You've never said I'm the coolest person.
I haven't.
Can I be the coolest
figure? So basically,
that must mean I am.
Let me finish the sentence.
I don't want.
So basically, we had a really open stand, and we had a cool U-shaped bar, and it was really nice, and kind of the workflow was brilliant, and we got a lot of baristas coming up and saying hi. So we had Anthony, who is with Café Richard, I think, in France, who is the current French barista champion, newly crowned.
Yes.
And we had David Macon came up, and his partner Zoe. And who else we have? We had Pernilla from Damateo, and Per from Damateo, and we had Yara, the Brazilian barista champion. She was there, and we had I can't even remember now. Who else do we have?
Anybody you don't mention will
David Macon. Oh, I said him.
You said him. If you forget somebody, they will never speak to you again.
Paul Bassett, former world or I think ever former world barista champion in 2003.
2003, because I got it wrong last time. I think I said 2004.
And yeah,
Mark Prince will be all over us if we've got that wrong.
What's Annette's boyfriend called?
Jimmy?
Jimmy.
Yeah. Jimmy Hoff?
Jimmy, yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Come on, Gmo.
Yeah, Gmo.
James Hoffman.
Joe.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
That's what we're working, is it? Yeah, we'll have to.
Yeah, so we had a cool throwdown at one stage.
Oh, yeah, I wondered how long it would come until we mentioned the throwdown where you reached the final.
Yeah, Dave Macon beat me.
Always a bridesmaid.
Yeah. What can you do? But we have a video at the end. But we had, because it was in Italy, we had all these different coffees. So
and wasn't there somebody else there as well? Wasn't there like the current World Barista Champion?
Gwilym!
how was Gwilym?
You know, he's kind of changed.
Roll VT.
Okay,
What has to go?
if you guys are done,
Get rid of this.
Okay, and anything else?
Stephen Morrissey's.
Get rid of
Things
that.
have changed.
Yeah, anything else?
Get rid of that.
Nah, gone.
Get rid of that.
You, Cosimo, out of here, go.
Okay.
Bye. Gone.
Man, he's changed.
Jeez,
Yeah, what a
demands all of
diva.
a sudden, yeah, I don't know. I think it comes with the territory. But so Gwilym was here
What's
too.
it? I hear that if you win a World Barista Championship, though, you do become a little bit of a diva anyway. That's what I
Oh,
hear.
I wouldn't know.
No, well, you probably won't. But
No.
wasn't there something with a milk jug?
Oh,
So we've been talking about this on the way up to here, and you kind of so we've got to talk about that. We've got to talk about that.
yeah. So all week, basically, when I go to these shows, I always bring my own cloths and tampers and jugs and brushes and all that kind of stuff. Just because when you get there,
Coffee.
yeah, and coffee. So when you get there, they've provided it all, but it's always not the one that you want, you know. So I always bring my own. So Mr. Morrissey didn't bring his though, of course.
But doesn't he have a small boy that follows him around with a little boy?
Yeah, that was me. That was me. That was me for the week.
Get back in the corner.
So he took a fancy to my jug. So all week, every time I picked up my jug, I would go to pour something. This is, and he was like pouring away in this. So I said, you've got my jug again. He goes, yeah, but nobody cares what you're doing. They're all taking photographs of me. So, which was true. So I was like, yeah, great. So we were basically robbing the jug off each other all week. But he was, I think.
So it was a big, massive machine show, and you couldn't find. There was only one jug in the whole show that you could use.
Yeah,
That
pretty
sucks.
much. But it was, I think, just working. Gwilym came for 2 days, was working with us as well, and just watching them work in those 2 days, I think I learned more than I have in the last 6 months. You just absorb things off them, you know, and they're really good because they can just say, they can just say, well, do that, and they tell you to do one thing and you do it, and you're like, whoa, like, and it just changes everything, you know, and it's cool to get that outside perspective. So it was good to pick their brains for the week, and it was good fun. But what was
Very jealous.
Yeah.
Very, very jealous.
So this throwdown that you had, we're going to show you the video at the end. So we'll stick.
Should we show it then? Should we show it now?
We show it now.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's going to be 2 videos, I think, just thrown together, but anyway,
I'll do my best with them.
you'll get the idea. So Stephen, how confident are you?
Not very. How's it going? Good. See you. Can't do that. Come on, Soren. Come on, Soren.
Stephen just said he was going to
You
beat
get
you.
beaten by Steve. I'll tell you what.
God, Stephen.
We went out late too last night.
Easily the worst puller.
That's the pressure.
Okay, guys, ladies and gentlemen, for both competitors, let's hear it for Soren and Stephen. Okay, get over here. I'd like to point out that there was no preparation allowed for this competition, so therefore there wasn't much practice.
Is there anything you want to say to Doug?
I'm sorry.
So, first of all, Soren, what are you presenting to the team here?
I'm presenting a beautiful heart in the beautiful country of Italy.
That's
Italia.
So can I have your votes for Soren, please?
Yay!
Now, Stephen, what are you presenting?
No, really, what is it?
It's how I felt this morning when I woke up. That's what it is.
This is how Stephen felt this morning. Can I hear it for Stephen, ladies and gentlemen? Hey, Soren!
That's cool. That's good. There's loads, so we'll put loads more at the end, in the end credits, with a particular nice ending.
Yes. But yeah, it was a whole lot of fun, and it's strange because like
While you've been watching that, we've been making coffee. So.
magic coffee.
This isn't what I was going to brew, by the way. It's something different.
Oh really?
But I'm not going to tell you what it is till you've drunk it.
Okay. So, it's amazing that no matter how, because like we had Stephen, we had Soren Stiller there, we had Dave Macon and Will and all these guys, and everybody to the T. When you get there, it's all and the shakes come, and it's like it was really good to get that feeling back again, where you're like, but it was a lot of fun. I should have been beaten.
Not quite as shaken as much as you were on the.
I was helped though, because
James didn't seem to shake when that London won. Okay.
yeah. So, but I don't think I deserved to beat Soren Stiller, but.
Huh?
I had Paul Stack as the referee, so thanks Stack.
Home advantage.
Yes.
Homer.
Yeah, he went 2-1. And the winner is Ireland, Colin!
So it looked like great fun. I am incredibly jealous now of seeing the videos, even more so. Look, good stuff. We've just made a clover of this because we can.
That's what else happened. So we got to we had a WBC party on the Saturday, and with Norma Simonelli in this nightclub thing. So we were working all day, got back, got a share, jumped in the car, went out again to the nightclub, got there, and they're like, "Oh, there'll be food." So finger food comes out and disappears, just like that. And I was like, "I'm starving. I haven't eaten since 8 o'clock, and even then it was only a croissant. I gotta go eat something, right?" So I said to James Hoffman, who was there, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get something to eat." And he goes, "Oh, can I come with you?" I went, "Yeah." And then his friend says, "Can I come with you too?" I said, "Yeah." So it turns out it was Xander who invented the clover. So it was this very weird moment for me sitting there with James Hoffman and Xander who invented the clover. What's his surname?
I don't know. It's just known as Xander.
Yeah, but it was very kind of like, whoa, this is one of those moments, isn't it? So we had pizza. It was really nice. But yeah, a lot of fun.
That sounds good fun.
This is really good. What is it?
It's the washed Wahana Sumatra. Which leads us very nicely on to, well asked, that was good. That looks rehearsed, but it isn't. One of the things we were going to talk about
I was going to say, you know what I thought it was going to be was lately a lot of you've been getting these from different roasteries. I've been getting these different El Salvador coffees that just have this lovely fruitiness in them that I would never have traditionally seen.
It tastes quite different brewed as a clover, I must admit. On the cupping table, for me, it tastes like a kind of a very good Brazil, kind of sweet, rounded, smooth.
But it has that
but in
fruity
here,
edge,
in here, it has the fruity. The pulp natural version is like bags of fruit, bags of apples. But yeah, that really does accentuate the apple, the fruitiness in there very much. It doesn't normally come across like that. But there's been loads of stuff about with people doing having different processes in. I know Square Mile have had the Kilimanjaro going. Is it this week? It's gone in.
So the three main types.
Yeah. So not again. No. But washed, pulp, natural. And I think it's just been really interesting. I see more and more of it coming through. The first time I've ever seen a washed Sumatra, and I sent some to Stemo. Sorry, Stephen Morrissey.
Stephen Morrissey.
Because I had to bleep that out. And he said that it wasn't his bag, but he thought, I actually got it was interesting. And to get Mr. Morrissey to say Sumatra's interesting, because he's not a massive fan, is he? He's, no. I don't know whether it's the best coffee I've ever tasted, but for me, it challenges me. And I've done this thing with the 3 in an espresso blend, because it's the common thread of it's the same bean.
Yeah.
So they share properties, but they all taste different.
Because you have to wonder, okay, so you have any sort of bean, alright? So how much of an impact does the process have in the coffee rather than the terroir?
Massive now. I wasn't so sure before, but with these 3 coffees, they're the same varietal, grown in the same field, picked at the same time, and 3 processed differently. And the processing has a massive.
So, bloke pulls cherries off tree in Brazil, air freights it like that to Sumatra, where they process it. What happens?
I think it would change the way that Brazil tasted. I think it would have a massive impact. We ended up having an alcoholic talk about this, didn't we? When I was over at yours.
Yeah, we were quite alcoholic that day.
Yeah, it was good though. It was good times. But
alcoholic talk. Why did you drink coffee?
Yeah, we were talking about if you shipped a coffee to the and they processed it somewhere else, what would it do to the flavours? And I do think, Sumatra has a very typical style. A natural Sumatra tastes very different to an Ethiopian natural.
Yeah.
Incredibly different. Now, they could use the same varietal, but they have this kind of signature.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you would get, is the signature of the place. But for somewhere like Sumatra, for the first wash I've tasted, they've got no point of reference. And I had no point of reference for it. I remember when I found it, I went to a cup in London not with the guys we normally buy coffee from. It was one of the other guys that we buy little bits from, and they put some Hondurans on, and I really enjoyed one of them, so much so we bought it, and I thought, that's great, we're going to have some of that. They were a bit embarrassed, and they said, we've got these 3, you won't like them though, but we've put them on the table. And I cupped this one, and I was just like, that's not Sumatra. It just completely blew, because I didn't have that point of reference. The Pulp Natural it reminded me very much of that Beloa fruitiness, that kind of whole kind of funky cup.
Yeah.
And the Natural was like a typical good quality, well processed, well looked after Sumatran. So it was like, it was such a shock. On the spot I said, give me everything you've got of it, I want it.
That's really interesting.
That's what everybody says when they drink it, it's interesting. Now,
well, look, let's go through it. So I think, it's hard to say with the clover, but it's beautiful. The viscosity in this coffee is really real sticky.
Accentuate. Is it accentuated? Yeah, I'm rubbish with words like that. Shouldn't use them if I can't pronounce them. But yeah, it really does kind of magnify.
Oh yeah.
Magnify. Yeah, man. It magnifies the viscosity in the clover, but still, this is quite a thick, gloopy, sticky coffee.
There is that kind of. It's okay. Usually we go towards wood, maybe in these sort of coffees.
Yeah.
It's that kind of. It's more tea-like at the end, I think, like a heavy tea. And there's a fruity edge to it.
There is a fruity edge which isn't
not
always there.
Acidity.
No. The Pulp Natural has got massive acidity.
Yeah.
It's really. I like them all, but I think this is the one that shocks me the most. So that's why I wanted to give you that. And this was without prompting. He didn't know. He thought he was getting a Costa Rican. So.
It doesn't taste that far away from Costa Rica.
So it's interesting. This farm has only been up 4 years, so this is their first real outturn.
Really? What's the farm called?
Wahana.
Wahana.
It's made quite a bit of noise coming in because it's the first. It's the first estate grade Sumatran I've had as well. So you tend to find those lots of co-ops and shit like that going on. But
you cursed on Tamper Tantrum.
I didn't.
You fucker.
Got the beat. Did you just say Mr. Morrissey's name then?
I did not.
So I love the way that guys are experimenting with processing. Part of this.
Have you picked up on the natural heating going on?
Yeah, and I
argue against naturals.
It depends where it is.
Okay, no, but if
a natural in Sumatra or a natural in Ethiopia is natural because that's what they have to work with. Not everybody has a mill. Yeah. Not everybody has a place where they can wash their coffee. And not everybody has the ability or skill to pulp natural, which you know, you run into a whole heap of issues. And for generations, they've made naturals. Should that be stopped? No. I think I know where they're coming from, because what they're saying is that naturals, for this, you know, for that shock factor, that over fermented kind of like, you know, on the edge of being ferment, natural. I don't think is so necessarily such a good thing, but I think it's great that we can have a coffee like this and like the Kilimanjaro and see what that is, so we can make decisions ourselves, because 5 years ago we couldn't make a choice whether we wanted naturals or not. You know, you got what you got, and
I think for me natural coffees are kind of, as long as it's controllable and it's repeatable and it's intended, I think it's a good thing. Like if you look at a lot of different foods or drinks, like there's a lot of fermenting that goes on in different industries, and like I'm sure there was a time when the smell of feet in your cheese was considered a bad thing, but this it's very carefully controlled.
But I mean,
probably intended.
But washing coffee, you're fermenting it. You know, you're actually taking the mucilage off in a fermentation tank. So you know, you're still introducing that. And I've tasted some wash coffees that have been more ferment than some of the naturals. Yeah. You know, it's
about repeating something and intending something.
Well, it's about it being the right thing for that bean, for that varietal, for that coffee. You know, if it isn't, then it shouldn't be forced just because it's cool. And I mean, and I've been the biggest kind of, not hater, but you know, I don't like these naturals for natural's sake. When everybody was saying they were cool.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Not Joe's coffee. This happened a couple of weeks ago. Do you ever grind coffee and smell sulphur?
I'm probably the wrong person to ask, because I don't grind so much coffee than most other people, because I'm roasting it. You know, I only really growing coffee for my personal use, so it's like I not that I can remember, but I'm sure there is a.
It's happened to me a few times, and it happened to me 2 weeks ago for the first time in about first time in about 6 months, and this kind of what I always put down to being a stinker.
Yeah,
maybe that's what it is. I don't know, but really harsh.
You know, you kind of do get those, and particularly.
Anyone knows? Help me.
Particularly in those coffees that are, you know, that are naturally processed, I think you run much more of a risk of getting the beans that aren't so good in there, because you know when you're washing them, you've got the floats and the sinking and all of that going on. So maybe, yeah. Does anybody know?
Maybe it was a joke.
Idiots at
playing a joke on Colin.
What, we put like a stink bomb in there?
Yeah, a stink bomb in his coffee. That'll learn him. But yeah, there's a lot of kind of anti-natural stuff going on, but.
But I was saying, I think if you've got to do what's right for the coffee and right for the people around there. If you can't wash your coffee, then you naturally process it.
But then I think Ben Helfand put out a tweet one day. He said, "I asked for a cup of coffee, not a chocolate blueberry muffin or something like that." And there are some days when you just want something really crisp. I remember myself and Dave a few weeks ago, where we got this real yearning for some really, really, really bright espresso. Just, you know. And you do get these kind of urges for different coffees, so I think
I don't think I've ever had a desire for a bright espresso, but
like, but yeah, anyway.
Yeah, that's good. It's good. I mean, it's great that we're getting all these different coffees through, and I think that's very exciting.
It's nice to have the choice.
It is. So what are we going to do next?
I think we should talk about Mr. Gary Vaynerchuk. So,
have you seen it?
Link.
Yeah. Link. Yeah, no, not that many links. Okay. But no, it was. We talked about it on episode the 3rd.
Did we? Was it not episode the 5th? No,
episode the 3rd when we were in London. That was the 3rd, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We talked about it there.
It finally happened.
And it finally happened. It took a little while to come together. Took a little while to get actually posted up after I recorded it. But the people who have watched the In My Mugs that I do, you bad man. People who watch In My Mugs I do, a lot of my inspiration for that came from this guy called Gary Vaynerchuk that does a show called Wine Library TV. And went on there, and he was an absolute superstar, and I spent the whole 25 minutes going and if for nothing else, it's funny to watch me do that.
Yeah, imagine me doing that for a week. That's what I was like with Marcy.
Yeah. Oh, man. It was just the biggest.
He seems like a really cool guy, though.
He is. He's a really cool guy, and all the people that watch his videos have been so nice on the comments. I mean, like so many people have come and watched the In My Mugs afterwards. and so many have left lovely comments on my blog. I am really, really lucky, and it's been very, very cool.
Sweet.
So I've enjoyed that incredibly.
I've been watching his videos actually. They're really approachable. Although the first time I've said this to a few people, and they've kind of went, "Yo, I agree with you," because they've gone and watched them too. The first time I watched it, I went, "That guy's a twat."
Yeah.
And then the second time I watched it, I was like, "He's alright." And the third time, you're like, "I love this guy."
Yeah. You know, he often says like his biggest failing is that people don't meet him in real life, and they see him on video as this personality that's kind of full on and loud, and he was quite right really, because when you meet him, yes, he is full on loud, and that's his personality. But when you meet him, you kind of see that he's a nice guy. He's a good lad. But yeah, it's a big problem, and perhaps you have that problem. People really like you on the video, but when they meet you in real life, they don't.
Because I'm so big, I scare them off.
And gentle.
Yes.
But no, that was a wicked piece, and I really enjoyed that. And if you haven't watched it, it's funny just to watch me be all excited, because I'm like a big kiddie.
Yeah, and doing it in proper Leighton style. No glasses, just chug out of the bottle.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Take the boy out of Cannock, but you can't take the Cannock out of the boy.
That's it.
Which is where I'm from, which is a real lovely place.
Good that you explained the joke there.
Yeah,
But,
I needed to, I think, because people wouldn't know where Cannock is in Atlanta, would they?
They would. Anyway, but yeah, no, go watch that. It's good fun.
Yeah, no,
You enjoyed yourself, didn't you?
I had immense fun, and it was it's certainly one of my highlights this year.
Yeah.
It's been good times, and this year has been a pretty damn good year as well. So
Very good year.
yeah, a very, very good year.
So it's kebab.
Chili sauce, garlic. So yes, so what else have we got? I believe I have heard a rumour on the grapevine that you are potentially no longer going to be unemployed. Well, you haven't really been unemployed, that's a little unfair, but I hear that you're going to have full-time gainful employment in the very near future.
So as of, I don't even want to say that. I was saying to Steve earlier that it's like talking about a baby in the first trimester, but essentially, I have a shop.
Woo! Go Harmon, go!
Yeah. So it's a really cool venue in the city centre in Dublin, and it's very small, and we have a
How
big
will
area.
you fit in there?
We have a big area at the back to expand into, so we're going to start off small, make it really nice quality, get that nailed, and then grow it into the back of it. And it's, I won't tell you what it's called, but it's coming soon.
Have you got a name?
Yes, but I don't want to tell them yet.
You haven't told me.
I haven't told you.
You haven't.
Have I not? No. Okay. Well, anyway,
You've
but
changed you.
it's coming. It's coming to Dublin, and very, very, very excited. And yeah, I don't even know if I can say any more than that. Cause
Have you got the grinder ready for the illy tin?
Nice, yeah. They're retrofitting and
Nice.
pulling off the timer and pulling off the all that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, I'm really, really excited about it. And we will also have a Nuovo Simonelli competition machine. Boom, right bank centre. And
It's the only time you'll get to go on one, isn't it? I'm so mean to you today. What's wrong with me?
and every day.
No, that's not true. You're normally horrible to me.
So Steve will be on shots, I'll be on milk. And, it's going to be a lot of fun. So you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Can I work a shift?
Oh, yeah.
Of shots in your place.
Jesus,
I
yeah.
don't. I'm not doing no milk.
No.
Milk isn't my thing, but
Yeah, no, definitely.
I'd like that very much.
Because I have a list of people that I promised to like because I'm going to try and get Anthony, the French first champion. He wants to come over, and Uda said she'd come over. You promised Uda.
Promised.
Yara said that she'd like to come over as well. She promised. Morrissey said he wouldn't, so you're coming.
Well, no. He said he could, but you couldn't afford him.
Yeah, he asked me if I could afford him.
I think free you can afford. That's the kind of money you can afford.
So cheap it's free. So he's Colin, whether he likes it or not.
And me.
Dave wants. Well, Dave wants to be
wicked.
Colin. I'd like to get Dave wants.
I'd love to work a shift with Dave, just telling all the customers to feck off.
Yeah.
Feck off.
Wouldn't be good polling together.
It wouldn't be great for your longevity of customers.
No, I don't think so. But I think we're going to try and do a Tamper Tantrum from there. And I think
It's probably the next time we're going to get a chance to do one as
Yeah.
well. So it's there may be a little bit of a break in between this one and not with kind of me being away and you being away and shit like that. So
But
we swore loads to date. I'm going to have to bleep them all, aren't I?
Yeah.
But no, I'm so excited about the shop. I'm really pleased because I know how long this has been in the making, and I think it's going to be not the Dave making, just the making. Don't have a flashback to you losing again. But
it's strange
going to
because
be wicked.
the reason I got into all this was because I wanted a shop.
Yeah.
And it's strange I kind of lost sight of it a little bit, but it's kind of...
Well, I don't think you did. I think you've been looking, but it's finding the right place, the right fit, the right thing for you.
I only wanted to learn how to steam milk. That's all I wanted to learn. I just wanted to learn how to steam milk. I was like, then I'll open the coffee shop, but I just kept going and going. I was like, oh, I don't want to be here. I want to learn how to steam milk, and that'd be enough. But
I think that what you've done over the past 6 months will only make your shop that bit better, though. So
hopefully so. Oh no,
and jumping at the first opportunity and stuff, it might, looking back, wouldn't have been a great thing.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's good that you've waited for the right opportunity, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to having somewhere in Dublin that serves our coffee.
Yes, because Steve has very kindly agreed to sell us coffee.
And do something pretty special for it as well.
Yes.
Are we going to talk about that?
Yeah, let's do a little bit of that. So basically we...
Because I only heard about this kind of...
20 seconds ago.
Yeah, I knew we'd always thought that we were going to supply the shop and we were going to do something special, but I really kind of like this idea. So I'll show you.
So Steve's going to do the pods for the machine.
No, I'm going to buy them from Kenco and send them to you.
That's all right. But so what we're going to do is... What the idea is to have an espresso blend, the house blend, that will be seasonal and will change every 3 months.
That sounds not too far unlike something else I've heard.
That's the same thing, yes. Yeah, so obviously the good people at Square Mile, sir, madam, they have their spring, winter, summer, autumn espresso, which I think is a very admirable thing. It's cool. So we were trying to think of a way to rip that off without calling it the same thing. So, but I think it's a good way to approach coffee. It's it enables you to change all the time as well. So
I think the idea of keeping it fresh and changing is good. I have a slightly different school of thought. I was saying to you earlier, I'm writing a blog post at the minute for how to create an espresso blend and how I go about creating an espresso blend from its initial first stages to getting it to the final point. It's a blend to use, and I don't think that coffee is necessarily dead after 3 months. I think that coffee has a 12-month season. I think a great one I like to use is the Gethin last year. Mm-hmm. Last year's Gethin, when the new crop arrived, there was a little bit of the old crop left in the warehouse, and I was drawing the older stuff in the warehouse because it was tasted so much better than the new stuff. Like, amazing. Now the Gethin now is just getting back to how good it was 12 months ago.
Crazy.
So I don't necessarily think that it has to, and I want to be very careful that we don't get in this mindset that after 3 months coffee's no good anymore, because I don't believe it is.
Okay.
I think it has a set period of time where it's at its best.
Yeah.
I think it changes over that time a little, and you have to adjust your roast and keep cupping it to make sure that it isn't fading. But I like the idea of doing it because it changes what the customer's getting.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that for me is that's a selling point. Not necessarily that the coffees are fading, and I've heard a few other people kind of saying, oh, that's nearly, it's coming past crop now. Well, yeah, quite right. When it's becoming past crop, you want to make sure it's gone for the new crop coming. But there's some coffees I wouldn't do without for over a 12-month period. I want a constant supply of them, and I also make sure that I get some of the key coffees. I get a good enough supply, so I carry over a little bit. So if the Gethin thing happens, I'm not stuck with coffee that isn't rested.
You have now, how old is that?
8 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Still young. Yum.
Yeah, no, this is fantastic. So, I think
recently endorsed by a certain Mr.
Oh no, but I think it's cool that coffees can still be good at a later date, and we don't need to get in this mindset where, oh god, it's 3 months old, let's throw it away. And I'm sure that's not what James and Annette meant to say when they were doing their spring, summer, autumn, winter blend.
But it's good.
And I don't think it's what other people are meaning to say, but that's what it's been interpreted as sometimes.
But yeah, so I think one that could change every 3 months would be good. So I think Dave thought of a really good name. So Frost would be nice. So that'd be the first blend name.
And I love the idea of the summer one.
Yeah. Oh, that was Yvonne's idea. Beach ball.
Yeah.
So
because we like beach balls.
We do. So we need a spring one. So if anyone has a suggestion for the name for the spring espresso, then hopefully I'll still be around by then.
I'm only planning the frost one.
We've only got 2 months for that
Yeah.
one, I suppose. Yeah.
But I'm really excited that I'm actually getting to work down to a blend to put in front of you to see whether it hits the buttons. I have a brief, which I like. I like the brief, and I think we can do something with it. So it's going to be good. But enough talking about that kind of stuff. I think the shop's dead exciting.
You'll hear more.
December sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, that's not far away.
Oh, okay. Anyway, talk about something before I have a hernia.
Okay. Mojo clearing up from last time?
Yeah, so can I say a little bit about this?
I'd love you to. I'm not allowed to.
So, first of all, 0.12.
Is it?
Yes,
I haven't read
yes.
it.
What I said repeatedly was 1.2. What we meant to say was 0.12.
Or 0.06.
Yes.
Yeah? Is that sure? Are you sure?
Yeah, positive, yeah.
Because I don't... if there's a big thing that's just been edited out there, ignore it.
No, but in saying that, so I have been getting more repeatability lately by doing 2 things. Firstly, wiping it with the alcohol wipe more. Every time. That's what Dave is doing with his now. And but I think that seems to work, and to calibrate the temperature more and
Excuse me walking past the camera, but...
we're talking about extra mojo wipes and so Vince.
Right, so... distilled water.
Where did you get distilled water?
Don't ask.
Because I'm using
One thing I couldn't...
clarified water.
Well,
or
that's one thing-
deionized water.
That's one thing I couldn't get clarified, and I wanted to rule out that deionized water and distilled
allowed
water
to
make a
mix them?
difference. Yes, you can. Yeah, don't mix them up though, because one's the espresso, one's the...
There's espresso here.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Then do mess them up. Help yourself. I didn't know whether it made a difference, and I want to make sure that I'm doing everything right. So I went and bought some distilled water at great expense. Water that's distilled shouldn't cost that much money.
How much does it cost?
Oh, it wasn't that much, but it was a lot for half a litre of water. It's about £7 plus postage. So I've also got some lint-free wipes because I don't want to damage the refractometer lens part. So I've got those. I also have lots and lots of alcohol wipes. I actually have more over there. I have lots of more alcohol wipes and new pipettes every time. So I've got loads of pipettes so I can get away with it and make sure that they're cleaned and sterilised afterwards. I have the bits for the Espresso Mojo. Thank you, Vince, by the way, for the Espresso Mojo.
Thank you, Vince, for my espresso mojo.
Yeah, let me disclaim here, because I paid for my normal Mojo where you didn't. But Vince very kindly gave me an Espresso Mojo to experiment with and to learn some more about, and hopefully to share on the blogs and on this. So yeah, I've gone to lots of lengths to make sure I get the right equipment. My ideal would be to get David across again, Mr. Walsh, because he really helped me. No, you're rubbish at that kind of stuff. No, I'm joking, but no, David, he kind of has a way of explaining things to me I understand, whereas and last time we really kind of, I mean, we did some great brews last time, and it really was kind of a great experience. You could come too if you feel left out. I'd like you to come with him.
That's fine.
All 3 of us could learn together and share our experiences.
Yeah,
Oh God, it's like a big girl. You look tutty round. So yeah, we're sorry about the mistakes we made on the last one. They were, I know Vince got kind of quite distressed by it, and quite rightly so. Tried to clear it up in a blog post, and I just made it worse.
I think those mistakes emphasise that you don't listen to us too carefully.
I stand by the result, and Vince also swapped over my refractometer because I got some really strange results with mine. Now, again, we don't know whether it's idiot error or user error, but since then I have got a lot more stability, and since all this stuff, I've got some more repeatability. I don't feel I'm ready to share everything yet, but I'm certainly happier with it than I was.
Yeah, I think what didn't come across was that there's a lot of things that we loved about it.
Yeah.
And we took that for granted that people would understand that, and we kind of skipped through.
I think most people did. I think most people did get that though. That we did like it.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't have been wasting our time talking about it if we didn't, would we? You know, and I certainly wouldn't have spent my money buying one if I thought it was a pile of rubbish. It's certainly not. Oh God, I'm making it worse. I don't want to talk about it. It's a great tool.
Just do what I do. Just do it. So we heartily endorse this product, service, or thing.
Yeah, but we will come back with a lot more on the next one, I think.
Yeah, because the espresso mode is going to be very exciting.
Yes,
very exciting. Yeah.
Perhaps before we do the one in the shop, we all three of us could get together and maybe get Mr. Stack along as well, and spend an evening before we do it and really do that stuff.
Can do. Sweet to the beat. Yeah, so that'd be a good way to do it. Thank you, Vince.
Yes.
I met Vince in Milan as well. He came to say hi, and he's a cool guy. And I'm sorry, Vince, I didn't get to spend more time with you, but someone needed to wash Stephen's jugs. So.
With a flannel.
Now, moving swiftly onwards.
Right, what else we got to do? Right, are we?
No, we're fine. We've plenty of time. I've got to go to the train soon. Well, not soon. Everyone. So,
we're looking across here, by the way, because we have a little bit of a list of things we want to talk about. We're not just weird and staring over here.
Where are you done soon?
Next Tuesday. Hopefully this will be up before I go. It better be, hasn't it, really?
It's better be alright.
Yeah. I'm going to Brazil.
You are, aren't you?
I am. For the third time, I've planned to go to Brazil. The previous twice,
I
haven't gone.
Why not?
Well, first of all, I was meant to be on the Cup of Excellence in 2006.
And you weren't excellent.
Yeah, they forgot to put me on the list after I'd got all the plans in place and there were no places left, so I didn't go, which was incredibly disappointing at the time. Then in 2007, I was promised, because of the mistake that year, I would definitely be on it that year, and then Brazil decided to cancel the competition that year.
So they went to extreme lengths to avoid it.
And then this year I was meant to be on the Cup of Excellence jury, but for reasons that I can't really go into lots of details about, I'm not. So I decided to stuff it. I'm going to make my own plans and I'm going to go to Brazil anyway. So I do feel I'm destined never to go. Things are conspiring against me. But I'm going to visit a farm that we kind of don't buy from. But we've helped in a direct relationship to get their coffee into the biodynamic market. So they send us the coffee, we roast it, toll roast it for them, kind of thing, and they sell it and get direct control of the profits and cut out all the middlemen. But we've also got some plans to do some business with them this year with a couple of special lots they've put aside for me with some processing and stuff like that. I've also found out they're going to put on loads of coffees for me to cup as well if I want a special micro lot from some of the coffees they've got there, which is exciting. Then I'm going up to where the Cup of Excellence is being held. Probably won't be welcomed, but I shall go. And meeting up with Stephen Hurst from Macanta. And Stephen's going to take me to his farm in Minas.
Inglaterra.
And I am going to Cachoeira, which is kind of, for me, a little bit of a filling of the circle. My epiphany moment in coffee where I suddenly... Have I talked about this on here before, my epiphany moment? The moment where it all clicked?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Just to recap, if I haven't, I'll keep it brief. In Cachoeira, when I first cupped Cachoeira, I realised what coffee could be. I kind of got it. It clicked into place. Now, it isn't the greatest coffee, but it is a special coffee.
Mine was Santarita Natural.
Yeah.
From Squarewell.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
But it kind of clicked for me, and I went, oh, fantastic. And then since then, I've been on this crazy coffee journey, which has taken me to many far-flung places and made many strange Irish giant-like friends. So going to Cachoeira is kind of like a filling of the circle for me. It's a pilgrimage, and it sounds a little bit kind of sicky, kind of like, romantic-y stuff, but I'm a bit like that.
That's cool. I love Cachoeira.
I love Cachoeira. I love Gabriello, and I don't think he's going to be there, which is really sad.
Really?
Yeah, he's living in Canada at the minute, but a lot of the guys who manage the farm for him are going to be there.
Okay.
And going to Inglaterra as well is going to be wicked.
Yeah, two very tasty coffees.
Yeah. So that's going to be hopefully my trip. I'm sure it'll be cancelled for some other reason. Trip drop? Oh yeah, I've trip dropped.
Yeah.
I do feel like something's going to go horribly wrong, like you do with the shop. It's just like the trip's not going to happen.
Okay, this time 6 months I'll be selling Cachoeira that you pulled from a tree.
Yeah.
In Dublin.
Well, we're actually going to, because we haven't found one yet for next year, Cachoeira.
Oh, really?
So we're actually going to cook them on the farm.
Because they had the Akaya and the Canaria this year that you had.
Oh, the Inglaterra, yeah. No, the Inglaterra we're going to cook too.
Oh, okay.
But the Cachoeira, we haven't selected our one for next year yet because
Really?
pre-shipment samples we haven't approved any yet. So we're going to do it all on the farm, which is, and I'm hopefully going to catch lots of video on that.
They always say you should never buy coffee.
I know. Breaking all the rules. Who cares?
Breaking the law.
Breaking the law. Dun, dun, dun. But I'm dead excited about this one. I really do hope it comes off. I don't know. I'm pessimistic.
You'll get there.
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, I'm turning up on my own, and I've got some. It's 11 and a half hours. Well, it's 4 hours to Heathrow. Like I've got to set off 4 hours early to train and stuff. Then Heathrow, I've got a 12-hour flight to San Paulo. Then I've got an hour and a half wait for another hour and a half flight. Then a 6.5 hour car journey to the farm.
Nice. Don't just go to Dublin.
And all with people I've never met before in my life. I don't know them, on my own.
They won't get a word in edgeways, will they?
But they don't speak English.
It won't stop you.
And I don't speak any Portuguese.
I can say Portuguese things.
Can you?
Todo dia, de toda forma, eu vou melhorando e melhorando.
What does that mean?
It means every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. You're going to say that.
That's got to be impressive.
Or carousel.
Can you help me out with like words like toilet?
No, that's all I learned.
Drink and
That's all I learned.
food?
We did the. Actually, I won't even go into that. That's an even more random story.
Food, if you could tell me how to get food, that might be really helpful.
Go up to the desk and go, every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. And then collapse on the table. And then make you better and better.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so that'll get you far.
So yeah, enough about my trip drop.
I'd love to go to Brazil.
Well, that's the other one I'm planning for next year as well. Is kind of tied in with the coffee that you used in Atlanta. Is that they had a massive problem this year harvesting the Machicamarca because they couldn't get enough pickers in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to volunteer my services next year to go and do a week's picking on Machicamarca.
I missed your audio boot because I don't have an audio boot on my iPhone. But is that what it was about?
No.
Oh.
That one was basically talking about how I came to have the Machicamarca first time around.
Oh.
You can listen to them on the interweb. You don't need it on your phone.
I haven't got. I've been travelling.
Oh, okay. You don't listen to it. It's like me whittering on. So yeah, that's Brazil.
Look at you.
Just on a completely random one, Audioboo. I was on their most popular Audioboo page for 2 days on the trot with 2 of the boos I did. That's how few people use it.
Nice.
Made me
So
happy,
go listen
though.
to Steve on Audioboo.
Yeah.
What else have we got to talk about?
Mr. Walsh.
Yes, so
He gets too much love on this.
he does
this
get far too much love.
podcast.
But congratulations to Mr. David Walsh, who ramped, I think is the only
The Irish tasting.
ramped home to victory in the Irish Cup Tasting Championships. So they split the final into 2 groups of 3. So I went into the first group of 3 and he was in the second group and I got 4. And I got 4. I got 6.
6 out of
8.
That's good.
No, it was horrific. But very disappointed. But so
How were the coffees?
there was robust in there, so you go when you couldn't taste something. But I didn't realise I was going to go up so quickly. So I was drinking like some lemon and lime drink and eating a biscuit, and then they called me up again. I was like, "Well, I was just up," and then I had to go back up again. So that kind of threw me. But the 2 other girls in the competition in my heat got 8 out of 8, and the fastest one was 4 minutes 30 seconds. So you have 8 minutes. And so then Dave got up, and basically he had to get all 8 right, but he also had to do it in less than 4.5 minutes.
That's handy that he knew that.
He got 8 right in the semi-final as well, right? In 6 minutes, I think. So he went up, okay, so he said, he admitted himself it was handy that he knew that, okay, but you know how long it took him? 2.5 minutes, and he got all 8 right. which just completely made a mockery of everything. It was just like, whoa, like completely dumbfounded. Like, so
The guy's got a trained palate though. He's been tasting probably more different coffees than I have. So you know.
So off he goes. So Dave's gone to London. Wow. Yeah. So that's
amazing.
tremendous. So well done, Dave.
Yeah, no,
We're all very
well
proud
done,
of you.
mate.
You
Very,
did
very
really
proud.
well.
I think we.
I think he was the only one that didn't think he was going to win. We were all sitting here, he's got in the back. He's fine. So yeah, cool. Well done, Dave.
Yeah.
Dave's going to win.
Dave for the win. At least Ireland will get one trophy.
Ah, stop. But yeah, a lot of fun. And
yeah, at least he can win his IBC heats.
it was good fun though. We had the latte art competition had a huge turnout. Well done to Bella Zudor as well from Voca Coffee in Bray, who won the latte art competition, and I got a judge in that as well.
Bray.
It's
I know somebody famous. Is there somebody famous from Bray?
Darrow Breen.
Ah, yes. Yeah. Oh, okay.
So it's in Wicklow. It's not strictly in Dublin now. It's outside Dublin. So that was a really good showing for that. I was doing sensory technical for that, which was so much harder than I thought it was going to be. Just judging, you see them there with their clipboards going, and you think, you know, it's nice and relaxed. When you're up there, it's just like bah, 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 and you're trying to watch everything and mark everything, and it's so hard. It's really hard. I just didn't really grasp how hard it was going to be, but I really enjoyed it at the same time. And then I competed in the cupping, as I said. I think I finished 4th.
It's good.
It's my thing.
Yeah, you like balls, don't you?
And then I emceed for the Coffee and Good Spirits. So Ziad from what are they called? Special Select Services.
Did you phone up Ross for some MC tips?
I'm after you, Brian. Not that you watched this far.
Not that he's watched any of them.
Intermittently. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. I got to see it from 3 different angles, so it was really good. And well done to Jackie and Julie and Damien and everybody involved in the SAE. And we had a throwdown.
I was just going to say about the throwdown. That looked great fun from the photos.
Yeah, it was good fun. Yeah,
Did you win that one?
No, I lost in the final to Vicky.
Bridesmaid again.
Vicky Fitzhenry. Well done, Vicky.
I'm spotting a pattern.
Yes.
Some people are born to win.
Yes. Bridesmaid / flower boy or something like that. But no, that was so much fun, and it was good to see that we can do something like that without. I don't know where that sentence is going really.
No,
in Dublin. I mean,
I think it's incredible. You know that kind of, if you look at the scene in the UK with what's happened with the champions and things, and you know the latte art championship and the tasting championship wasn't so well attended here. You know, mind you, that's because they moved it at the last minute from Cafe Culture to somewhere up north.
Up north.
But no, sounded like a good fun, good times.
It was good fun, good times. But hopefully we can do more of that in the future, which we probably should actually. But anyway,
We're going to have a throwdown at your place.
yeah.
You might win that one.
We should.
You could rig it, couldn't you?
We could.
It's my party.
We could fly Ross Brown in for. Okay, right. We're going to fly Ross Brown in for a latte or throwdown.
Ryanair, £1 each way.
We don't care. You're flying 5 o'clock Tuesday morning. That's it. What's on Friday?
No expense spared.
No expense paid.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Have we covered everything?
I think so.
We've done well.
Well, what time did we start it?
Oh, I don't know.
We
said it was going to be a short one.
It wasn't that short.
Was it not?
Shorter than the usual, maybe. But
Oh,
not
jeez.
actually
No,
short.
it's not so short. It is short for us, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of we want to get back into the kind of top 5 things we know about somewhere, and what were the other things that we decided the interviews didn't really work. They were better on the blog than they were, but I think you should do some more of those on your blog.
Okay,
I think you should actually just use the blog.
Yes, I should.
Let's see what else. What is there something you want us to do? Like when we did the rainforest thing, you know, when you went away and learned about the rainforest. Do you want us to do something like that? Because I don't know, what do people want us to do? And we hope you like the shorter format.
Okay, well, thank you very much for joining us again.
Yeah, we're rambling now, aren't we?
We are one.
And now for the rest of the clips.
Yeah, and
some funny music that I've yet to find.
And the bit at the end to
yes.
a very special date for a very special birthday.
For a very special boy.
we know him on the phone. Even Charlie Haughey won't be here. Old Mother Hubbard won't be in the cupboard. All the streets in Dublin will be clear. Delaney and his donkey will be gone. There'll be leprechauns and banshees all along, cheering for the fellas, playing pipes and bellas, gathered all around to sing the song. Everyone will be in Italy, cheering a song for victory, standing behind Jack to bring the World Cup back to Ireland from Italy. Danny Boy will sing at the Scala when we win. Molly Dear could turn up and roam. A million Irish eyes smiling for Jack's pies when we take the World Cup home. This time we are gonna do the business, playing till the final whistle's blown. A million Irish cheers ringing in your ears when we take the World Cup home. Everyone will be in Italy, cheering a song for victory, standing behind Jack to bring the World Cup back to Ireland from Italy. Everyone will be in Italy, cheering